What's up, guys? Trader Judd here, back with another weekly Forex Outlook video on a Monday, which we'll be doing this every Monday from here on out. Instead of Sunday nights, I think it's better to do this on Monday, see what Sunday night has to offer, and then release this on Monday instead. We're going to start with USD on the 4-hour time frame. We can see we have a Gartley pattern drawn out. One simple trend line. Few support and resistance levels, and then this one, it is a trend line, but it's a perfect double bottom at the bottom. So what I'm expecting with this, if it does break this trend line and retest this trend line, something along the lines of this right here. I do expect it to complete the Gartley if it breaks this trend line, and so I'll be looking for opportunities to buy. However, if this trend line is respected, then we will be looking to sell. So that just kind of depends on what it does. That's a pretty simple outlook, but no need to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. USD JPY is next. We can see it's currently respecting this support and resistance level right here. I have another couple of support and resistance levels above where price is currently, and we have the 110 quarter point that is right here that we have seen price just kind of dance around in the past few weeks. Two simple trend lines drawn. I was waiting to move this. You can move it now if you'd like, or you can just wait to see how it reacts to the support and resistance level. Whichever works best for you works for me. You can see it was retested after it was broken multiple times. We'll extend this out a little bit. And so what we're looking for with this is to see if it is going to continue its upward trend. And you can see it has been consolidating here for the past couple of weeks. Not much movement up or down. It's been pretty indecisive. UJ has been. And so we're just waiting to see if it does break above this horizontal line, it'll be a buy. If it respects this horizontal line, we get something like a bearish engulfing candle, then it'll be a sell. I would expect it to go back down to the 110 level or to retest this trend line, whichever one comes first. Looking at gold now, XAU USD, you can see gold pretty much all of last week and the week before that has been extremely bearish. A whole bunch of bearish momentum with this. However, it did just tap this horizontal line down here, the support and resistance level at the bottom of where price is currently. It's really far away from this trend line, and I didn't feel comfortable drawing another trend line based off of this point because there hasn't been any sort of major retracement. So I'm looking for either if it does break below this horizontal line right here, I'm looking for it to continue downward. However, if we do see it respect this, see something like a double bottom or something like that with some bullish momentum, then I would be comfortable buying this back up to at least this horizontal line, if not to buy it back up to this trend line. Next is EUR AUD. If you guys remember this bat pattern that I called out a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now, we can see that that's played out really, really well. If you got into this buy at the completion, then you're up a significant amount, and more than likely you've already taken profit. But this continues to go upward, right? We're still seeing higher highs, which is what we currently got right now is a higher high. I would not be surprised to see some sort of retest of either this trend line or this horizontal line right here, the 157954 horizontal line, before continuing upward. But I do think that this will at least get back up to this point. However, if you guys know anything about trading retracements of harmonics, the 61.8 is usually the retracement that you see it go in the direction of the trend in. And so I would not be surprised to see this go bearish in the next couple of days, at least going back down to the trend line before continuing upward, or going bearish and continuing the bearish momentum that we saw right here. So EA, while it is bullish right now, and I think there's no reason to say that it'll continue to go bearish, or that it will go bearish in the coming days. It's just something to be aware of. GBP NZD is up next. We can see quite a few horizontal lines and no trend lines drawn. Let's go ahead and draw one trend line, and it's going to be this one right here. See perfect break and retest of that trend line and of the horizontal level right here. And so it looks like this is going to continue to go bullish. However, it has been extremely bullish for the past number of days. Even into the beginning of last week, you could see this area of consolidation right here, and then the break and retest of that area of consolidation before skyrocketing upward. So be aware that we could see some sort of retracement with this skyrocket upward. But this bullish momentum right here should continue. AUD USD, see pretty simple chart with this as well. We can draw a trend line right here if you would like. Something along those lines. I don't typically like drawing trend lines this steep, but this is a valid trend line. We can see the reaction off of it. You could also draw a trend line something along the lines of this if you'd be more comfortable with that. Either way is fine. In fact, I probably like that lower one better. It's not nearly as steep. We can see that channel going downward. We can see this horizontal level right here was broken with not this previous candlestick, but the candlestick before that, this bearish engulfing candle. And we got bullish momentum that pushed price right back up to where that horizontal line is. So we're waiting to see a reaction if that's a retest, and it'll continue downward. If it's not, then we'll see another bullish candlestick going in in the upward direction, I should say. Before buying this, I want to see it engulf at least this bearish candlestick, the most recent bearish candlestick, before placing a buy on that. If you are going to buy this, take profit 1 should probably be somewhere in this zone. Take profit 2 being this horizontal line and or this trend line. However, if it does go into a sell, we have to zoom way out to find some points to sell to. There is a trend line down here. There is also a horizontal line down here. So looks like you'd be selling to the trend line because that's what's going to come up first. And then if it breaks that trend line, the horizontal line is up next. So those are some spots to buy in or sell to, depending on what the candlesticks do in the next few hours. GBP USD is up next on the 4-hour time frame. We've got one pretty large trend line drawn and one small one down here at the bottom. We can see this horizontal line below where price is that has been respected, as well as multiple horizontal lines up above where price is. And so we're just kind of waiting to see what price is going to do, if it's going to finally break this trend line to the upside, or is it going to continue its bearish ways that GU has been trending down for quite some time. If we do get a break out of this trend line, the upper trend line, the trend line that's on top, we'd be looking for opportunities to buy. However, if we do get a break of this minor trend line right here and or this horizontal line down below where price is, we'd be looking for opportunities to sell. EJ is up next. We have a Gartley pattern drawn out on EJ as well, with the most recent candlestick being a bullish engulfing candlestick. Let's extend this zone out a little bit, as well as this one. You see I have a couple of zones drawn, as well as some horizontal lines, the quarter point theory down at the bottom with this red line. All the other lines are support and resistance levels. There is another quarter point at the 130. However, there's a zone right on the 130, so I have not marked it. Just be aware that the 130 is also a quarter point. So what we're looking for with this is a break of this trend line, or a break of either one of these zones, and then buying to complete the Gartley pattern. I'm not buying this yet, even though we do have this bullish engulfing candle, and it does look likely that we will get some bullish momentum. But the reason why I'm not buying this is because my risk to reward ratio is really garbage right at this current point. And so we're waiting it out, waiting to see what it's going to do once it reacts to either the zone that it's currently in, this trend line, or the zone above where price is. So I would recommend waiting this out. If we do get a bearish reversal pattern off of this trend line and or out of this zone, then I'd be comfortable selling it back down to this trend line that's down below where price is currently. So yeah, that's what I see with EJ. And finally, UCAD. UCAD is it's an interesting look. Um, we had some bullish momentum to start the week out over not this most recent candlestick, the one that's currently developing, but the one before that was a bearish engulfing candlestick. We had some bearish momentum to end the week out last week after this period of consolidation up here at the top. However, we had all of that bullish momentum a couple of weeks ago, and so you'll notice that UCAD really respects levels, and that's why I have a lot of levels drawn here, as well as this quarter point 1.3. And so I'm just waiting to see if UCAD is going to respect this horizontal line above and or below, and what it's going to do. You'll also notice that UCAD does like to consolidate after major movements. You'll notice that the most recent major movement upward, consolidation, another major movement downward. So I would not be surprised if we saw some sort of consolidation here before another movement. That's just what I see happening, not necessarily what is going to happen, but I would not be surprised if we saw some consolidation before some more movement. All of that being said, the trend is going upward, right? Long-term trend is going upward, and so we are still looking for opportunities to buy based on what trend is doing. However, if we do get a break of this horizontal line right here, I would be comfortable selling probably down either to this trend line that's drawn or back down to the 1.3 level. So that's everything. That's all 10 pairs for this week. I hope that you guys like this new setup. A couple of other announcements before we get out of here. I will be doing videos from now on, like a follow-up video on either Wednesday or Thursday, going over some interesting movements that we saw throughout the week. If you didn't check out the video that I posted yesterday, definitely check that out. It goes over how I mark up my charts, the way that I go about doing things. I get a lot of questions about how do I go from a blank chart to what I show you guys, and so that kind of goes over the basics of how I do that. It's an interesting watch if it's something that you're interested in. And yeah, so I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you on either Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided yet.